States of America. They argue that J.P. Morgan Chase, given its history and size, is a central actor in what they call a troubling saga. This lawsuit frames this not just as a personal grievance, but as part of a broader campaign against the weaponization of the banking sector. The allegation is that financial institutions are acting as ideological gatekeepers, cutting off access to capital for those who don't align with certain political views. J.P. Morgan Chase has been quick to respond, and they are firmly denying these accusations. In a major escalation between the White House and Wall Street, President Donald Trump has filed a massive lawsuit against one of the world's most powerful financial institutions. The president is suing J.P. Morgan Chase and its CEO, Jamie Dimon, seeking at least $5 billion in damages.
No, I haven't stopped it. No, he debanked to me. So we'll see if that beeps anything, but I think it should. You shouldn't be debanked. Get debanked if you don't have money or if you fall to have this great company, and all of a sudden I was told, no, you can't do that. It's so wrong. It's so wrong. I don't know what their excuse would be. Maybe their excuse would be the regulators. I don't know. But regardless, I guess it's a good lawsuit because every pundit has come out and said Trump has a great lawsuit here. You're not allowed to do what they did. Jamie Dimon, what he did, he's not allowed to do that.
The lawsuit, filed on Thursday, January 22nd in Miami-Dade County State Court, centers on a controversial practice known as debanking. The president alleges that the bank has systematically denied services to him and his associated businesses, not because of financial risk, but due to political bias. This isn't just a dispute over a checking account. This is a high-stakes legal battle that accuses the largest bank in the United States of trade libel, bad faith, and violating state consumer protection laws. The core of the complaint is that J.P. Morgan Chase violated Florida's deceptive trade practices law. The legal team for the president argues that Florida law explicitly prohibits financial institutions from terminating accounts or denying services based on a person's political opinions, speech, or affiliations. According to the complaint reviewed by Bloomberg, Trump's lawyers state that, quote, debanking is a matter of public interest and significant importance to all consumers and businesses in the United States of America. They argue that J.P. Morgan Chase, given its history and size, is a central actor in what they call a troubling saga. This lawsuit frames this not just as a personal grievance, but as part of a broader campaign against the weaponization of the banking sector. The allegation is that financial institutions are acting as ideological gatekeepers, cutting off access to capital for those who don't align with certain political views. J.P. Morgan Chase has been quick to respond, and they are firmly denying these accusations. In a statement released shortly after the news broke, the bank rejected the idea that political or religious factors.
From Asia's largest news headquarters, setting the agenda for Bharat. You're watching Republic.
Hello and welcome, ladies and gentlemen. You're watching 6 Stories at 6 with me, Tanisha Awasthi. Let's quickly get started with the top 6 stories of the day that have set the agenda. First up, Mamata Banerjee and Mamata Govt especially has been exposed on the Bangladesh border fencing. Exclusive reports from our Republic Bangla team proves why. Meanwhile, in Telangana, while Revanth Reddy says he has no money for the welfare projects for the people, he has just sanctioned ₹1 million for the newly minted Minister Azharuddin. Also on the show, in Uttar Pradesh's Mainpuri, sorry state of healthcare has been exposed, with videos now circulating of how an operation was performed with just a torchlight. On the issue of passenger safety norms, also commonly known as the FGTL guidelines, the High Court has now pulled up DGCA for keeping the norms in abeyance. What has the ministry said on it? We'll get you that as well. And in the biggest political scoop, from Maharashtra. The NCP merger is on the cards. When and how will that be done? We will get to the inside details. Also on the show and in news from Karnataka, a dramatic chase sequence of a cop. The man in uniform was caught on camera taking kickbacks. 6 stories that we have lined up for you, starting first up with the top story. The Telangana Congress government has come under public scrutiny after sanctioning nearly 8 million for repair and renovation works at Minister's Quarter number 29 at the Banjara Hills, an official government residence recently allotted to the former cricketer and newly inducted Minority Welfare Minister Mohammad Azharuddin. Now, the government order reveals that the work includes comprehensive repairs such as waterproofing, the roof slab, floor tiling, UPVC window installation, modular kitchen installation, wall repairs, painting, among other renovations that usually we do in our day-to-day lives. And this is to make a long vacant quarter habitable. The order, which is now in public domain, has triggered a political debate. And why is this so? This is because 8 million rupees has been sanctioned for the renovation of this government quarter. The state government has repeatedly cited financial constraints in the meeting welfare commitments. Why is this a huge issue? Is because on one hand, while the government says, the state government says that they have no money, that they have no funds to give out for the public welfare projects. On the other hand, they are giving nearly 8 million for their minister for his house renovation. Here is what the controversy is all about.
The Congress-led Telangana government is facing scrutiny for sanctioning rupees 8 million for renovation work at Minister's Quarter number 29 in Banjara Hills. It was recently allotted to Minority Welfare Minister Mohammad Azharuddin. According to Roads and Buildings Department, the funds were approved under the capital outlay for government residential buildings. The work, which has been cited in government orders, include various comprehensive repairs. When Deputy Chief Minister Ballu Batti Vikramarka was confronted on the issue, he claimed that these quarters have been vacant for a long time.
There was a rumor, the speculation that there was almost 76 lakhs allotted to the renovation of Mr. Azharuddin's bungalow in the minister's quarters. So what do you have to say about it? I wanted to ask.
It's all part of the government administration.
Because there were repeated allegations of, lack.
Nothing like that. They are the old, age-old quarters. They have to get renovated.
In the last 2 weeks, the government has reportedly approved over rupees 1 crore for renovation and sanitation works at ministers' official residences. Controversy has intensified as Health Minister Damodar Rajanarasimha's official quarters in the same upscale locality have also been cleared for a rupees 30 lakh makeover. 3 million is just for Health Minister Damodar Rajanarasimha's toilet, while the other 3 million has been assigned for wardrobe upgrades and kitchen repairs. The R&B department claimed that the quarter number 29 allocated to Minister Azharuddin is in a very bad condition and therefore the money was allocated for its repairs. Meanwhile, the opposition has raised eyebrows and criticized the Chief Minister, who often claimed that the state is in a dead condition. But as details of these renovations continue to surface, the larger question remains, are these expenses justified administrative necessities or just a symbol of misplaced priority?
India's national security is at stake on the eastern frontier. Large stretches of the Indo-Bangladesh border in West Bengal remain dangerously unfenced, turning it into a region and a hotspot for infiltration, smuggling and crime. Republic went to the border, spoke to the locals who say that they are ready to give up their land and for the nation's safety, but the fencing work has been stuck for years due to the state government led by Mamata Banerjee. The Calcutta High Court has now intervened and has issued directions to the Mamata government in West Bengal to hand over the land for fencing along the India-Bangladesh border to the Border Security Force by March 31st. The report tells you more on how Mamata government has been left red-faced.
Amid dense forests with national security threat looming over, large stretches of the Indo-Bangladesh border in West Bengal remains unfenced. A conduit for illegal infiltration, smuggling of drugs, fake currency, cattle and gold. A demographic bomb ticking, waiting to explode. But Mamata Banerjee's government continues to sit on the land, obstructing the fencing process.
মালদার ভারত বাংলাদেশ সীমান্ত হবিবপুর ব্লকের এই তিলাসনের যোধ কবির এলাকা, এই এলাকায় এখনো পর্যন্ত অধিকাংশ এলাকাতেই কাঁটাতার নেই। যেমন যেটা আমরা বিএসএফ সূত্রে জানতে পারছি, মালদার যে ভারত বাংলাদেশ সীমান্ত 172 কিলোমিটার, এই 72 কিলোমিটার সীমান্তের মধ্যে নদী, পাশাপাশি নদীর জলপথ এবং পাশাপাশি হচ্ছে সীমান্তবর্তী অর্থাৎ স্থলপথ, সব মিলিয়ে প্রায় এখনো পর্যন্ত 38 কিলোমিটার এলাকায় কাঁটাতার নেই। এবং এখানে যেটা সব থেকে বড় যে সমস্যা, রীতিমতো যারা কৃষকদের জমি রীতিমতো তারা সরকারকে দেওয়ার জন্য তারা প্রস্তুত, দেশের সুরক্ষার জন্য কৃষকরা জমি দিতে চাচ্ছে, কিন্তু এখনো পর্যন্ত কৃষকদের যেটা অভিযোগ যে প্রায় 2 বছর হতে চললো মাপজোক করা হচ্ছে কিন্তু কৃষকদের কাছ থেকে জমি নিচ্ছে না।
BJP says Mamata government is not ready to hand over land to shield infiltrators.
मित्रों, जहां पर भी बंगाल में जाते हैं, पूरे बंगाल की जनता घुसपैठियों से त्रस्त है। क्या कोई राज्य सरकार ऐसी हो सकती है जो घुसपैठियों की पनाहगाह अपने राज्य को बना दे? राष्ट्रीय सुरक्षा पर कितना बड़ा खतरा है, इसका जवाब बंगाल की मुख्यमंत्री ने बंगाल के चुनाव में दे।
Republic Bangla is at the India-Bangladesh border. They have a different version. Locals say measurements now done. The land lays barren as West Bengal government does not seem willing to move with the acquisition. Locals say that they are fighting against Mamata government to get the fencing done. Farmers in the region echo similar concerns. Speaking to Republic, they highlight atrocities committed by Bangladeshis crossing the border illegally. Farmers say that for them, the safety of the nation comes first. Their demand is clear: fencing on the border.
এলাকার নাম হচ্ছে যোধকবি মজা পড়ে। এটা আমার তো যোধকবিতে পারে না, সিংহাবাদা পারে। আমার কিছুটা তারবাড়ার ভিতরে জমি পড়েছে, মাপজোক করেছে কিন্তু নিয়ে যাচ্ছে না। মাপজোক করে সব কিছু কাগজপত্র নিয়ে গেছে, কারণ হচ্ছে তারবাড়াটা হতে গেলে আমরা সুরক্ষিত থাকবো। আমরা তো সরকারকে জমি দিতে রাজি আছি, ন্যায্য দাম পেতে হলে দিতে আমাদের অসুবিধা নেই। দেশের সুরক্ষার জন্য আমরা কৃষকরা সবাই জমি দিতে প্রস্তুত। আমরা চাইছি যে জমিটা নিয়ে নেই। কাঁটাতার না থাকতে সমস্যা বলতে কি, ধান চালের অবস্থা খারাপ হচ্ছে, মাঝে মধ্যে মাপতে আসছে তখন ধানের ক্ষতি করে দিয়েছে। ওদের কথা, ওরাও অত্যাচার করে না। আমরা চাইছি যে তার কাটা বেড়াটা হোক, এটাই চাইছি। জমি দিতে রাজি।
At the center of this problem lies the delayed tactics deployed by Mamata Banerjee's government to not acquire land meant for fencing. Farmers highlight that the government continues to postpone taking measurements, thus delaying the acquisition. But the court's message to Mamata government is clear: hand over the land to border security forces. No delay in matters of national security will be tolerated.
हाल ही में कोलकाता उच्च न्यायालय ने पश्चिम बंगाल सरकार को एक कड़ा निर्देश दिया कि सीमा सुरक्षा बल बॉर्डर सिक्योरिटी फोर्स के द्वारा भारत बांग्लादेश सीमा पर, जिसमें तकरीबन 9 जिले पश्चिम बंगाल के आते हैं, वहां फेंसिंग के काम के लिए जो भूमि आवंटन की प्रक्रिया थी वो तत्काल करके 31 मार्च 2026 तक सूचित की जाए।
However, the TMC remains defiant, saying that it is Home Minister Amit Shah and BSF who are responsible for the fencing.
এই মামলায় জনসভা করতে এসে আবার সেই গাল ভরা মিথ্যে কথার ঝুলি তিনি বলে গেছেন। এর আগে বলেছিলেন সবাই অ্যাকাউন্টে 15 লক্ষ টাকা করে পাবে। 15 লক্ষ তো কোনো দূরের কথা, 15 পয়সা করে কারোর অ্যাকাউন্টে নেয়নি। মামলায় জনসভা করতে এসে যে কাঁটাতারের কথা উনি বলেছেন, জমি দেয়নি বলে বিভিন্ন মিথ্যে কথা আরোপিত করেছেন বাংলার সরকারের প্রতি, এগুলো সম্পূর্ণ মিথ্যে এবং অবৈধ। এই কথার কোনো বেশ নেই। কারণ হচ্ছে এই অনুপ্রবেশের কথা যেটা বিজেপি বারংবার বলে, এই অনুপ্রবেশ করানোর মূল কারিগর হচ্ছে বিজেপি। কারণ বর্ডার নিয়ন্ত্রণ করে বর্ডার সিকিউরিটি ফোর্স আন্ডার দ্য কন্ট্রোল অফ সেন্ট্রাল গভর্নমেন্ট, আন্ডার দ্য হোম ডিপার্টমেন্ট। এই স্বরাষ্ট্রমন্ত্রী অমিত শাহজি ইনি নিজে বিএসএফ এর মালিক হয়ে, বিএসএফ এর নিয়ন্ত্রক হয়ে কিভাবে অনুপ্রবেশ হচ্ছে বাংলায়, তার উত্তর তো ওনাকে দিতে হবে। নিজেরা অনুপ্রবেশ করিয়ে বাংলার মুখ্যমন্ত্রীকে ভারতবর্ষের রাজনৈতিক মানচিত্রে মেলাইন করার যে চক্রান্ত ওনারা করতে চাইছেন, বাংলার মানুষ 26-এ তার মুখে ঝামা বসে এটার প্রমাণ করবে।
But with the court's order now coming in, Mamata government can no longer continue to put national security on the backseat.
Moving on, ladies and gentlemen, a sudden power outage plunged a district hospital in Mainpuri in Uttar Pradesh into darkness during heavy rainfall, forcing doctors and staff to treat patients under mobile phones of torchlight to nearly 2 hours, exploring the glaring lapses and gaps in basic healthcare infrastructure. Videos and footage shared widely now show how patients and attendants face not only darkness but humidity, disrupted services and fears of life dependent on immediate care. Here is what happened, and so far no action has been taken against the district hospital and its management.
This is Mainpuri's district hospital, gripped under darkness. The sad state of basic healthcare infrastructure in Uttar Pradesh exposes the glaring gaps in the management. A sudden power outage plunged Maharaja Tej Singh District Hospital in Mainpuri, Uttar Pradesh into darkness during heavy rainfall, forcing doctors and staff to treat patients under mobile phone torchlight for nearly 2 hours. Relatives and hospital staff can be seen holding phone torchlights to illuminate areas where patients were resting, including in emergency and general wards. After these videos went viral and exposed the bad infrastructure, the hospital authority has now come up with excuses.
ये अचानक मौसम के बिगड़ने से आंधी बारिश हुई, ओले पड़ने की स्थिति बन रही थी, तो इस वजह से उसमें अरेंजमेंट में थोड़ा विलम्ब हुआ, जिसके लिए तुरंत जनरेटर स्टार्ट करवा गया, चालू करवा गया व्यवस्था सुचारू रूप चलाने के लिए।
इन्वर्टर भी लगा हुआ है, उसके बाद भी अंधेरा जिला अस्पताल।
इन्वर्टर की बैटरी थोड़ा पावर बैकअप थोड़ा कम हो गया है, तो उसके लिए उसे भी सुधारने के आज कोशिश की जा रही है, अतिशीघ्र वो भी सुधरवा दिया जाए।
The sudden power outage put the patients' lives at risk. The power cut affected the hospital's OPD, wards, and even the operation theatre. Surprisingly, the inverter installed in the operation theatre to handle emergencies was also found to be malfunctioning. As a result, the backup power system completely failed. Panic and anger were clearly visible among the patients' attendants. The repeated complaints from the local residents and patients' families always fell on the deaf ears of the authorities. Despite crores of rupees being spent, the hospital's basic facilities remain in a deplorable state.
And moving on, in a significant development on the passenger safety, the Delhi High Court has taken the DGCA to task over inconsistencies in its stance on the pilot rest or the FDTL norms. The court questioned conflicting advisories on mandatory weekly rest, flagging potential flight safety risk. Unconvinced by the explanations, the court has now directed the DGCA and the centre to file a detailed explanation. Here's more on the story.
The DGCA's move to relax pilot duty norms after flight disruptions is under challenge in the Delhi High Court. The court pulled up DGCA for issuing contradictory letters on FTTL norms, even as it claimed the relaxations were temporary. Petitioners argued that removing the bar on substituting leave for weekly rest allows airlines to merge the two.
The petitioner argued in court that after the entire chaos and havoc that was created on airport some time ago, especially concerning Indigo, where flights were cancelled, flights were delayed, two separate letters were issued by DGCA. In one, where a permanent relaxation was given till February 10th, and the other seemed a bit open-ended. The petitioner further argued that removal of a specific line, that week offs can be substituted as rest days. It can amount to airlines using their autonomous power to substitute their week offs with rest days.
The court was told that weekly rest is a non-negotiable safety requirement and any dilution directly affects pilot alertness and flight safety.
DGCA argued that no such withdrawal has taken place, and week offs are a contractual obligation between the airline and the pilots, and it does not have to be explicitly mentioned in FDTL regulations. The court also observed that rest days have to be distinct and different from week offs, and they cannot be clubbed together. The court also observed that there is a vagueness in the way the clarification has been given by DGCA.
DGCA defended its position, saying weekly rest remains intact and leave falls outside the scope of FDTL regulations. The regulator insisted the advisories were meant to only prevent misuse, not to dilute passenger safety standards. But the judges remain unconvinced and repeatedly sought clear answers on the real impact of these advisories. The Delhi High Court has sought answers from the DGCA and the centre, demanding a detailed affidavit within 2 weeks.
And what is seen as a big political scoop from Maharashtra, Republic has now accessed a major scoop on the Nationalist Congress Party merger. Reports say that it can happen in as early as the next week. And what we're also looking forward to is that Sunitra Pawar, who is the wife of the late Ajit Pawar, being named as the party leader. And the merger will be happening in this coming week. The party workers have said that 3 weeks after Republic in fact broke the merger talks within the NCP, sources have now confirmed that the efforts to reunite the two factions are at advanced stage. Here's more to the story.
Efforts to bring two warring factions of the NCP together were already underway well before the death of Maharashtra Deputy CM Ajit Pawar. Ajit Pawar held nearly 14 meetings over several weeks with senior leaders including Jayant Patil, Supriya Sule and Amol Khole to build consensus. These developments were shared with the senior BJP leaders, keeping the ruling alliance informed at every stage. After the final round of discussions, Ajit Pawar met NCP founder Sharad Pawar and briefed him on the agreement that had emerged. Sharad Pawar's approval cleared the path for reuniting two factions and moving towards a formal merger. Political activity intensified as senior NCP leaders Praful Patel, Sunil Tatkare and Chhagan Bhujbal were seen at the residence of Chief Minister Devendra Fadnavis.
CM साहब से जो है हम लोग गए थे, प्रफुल्ल भाई, तटकरे, मैं और मुंडे, कल भी हम मिले थे उनको रात को। तो टेंटेटिवली जो है कल हो सकता है क्या साहब, शपथ विधि से लेकर सारी चीज़ें। तो मुख्यमंत्री ने कहा कोई मुझे प्रॉब्लम नहीं है।
A proposal is now on the table to appoint Sunitra Pawar, wife of Ajit Pawar, as the Deputy Chief Minister of Maharashtra. On the other hand, Praful Patel is likely to take charge as the working president. The move is being pitched as a way to heal the party's split once power is shared between Devendra Fadnavis and Eknath Shinde. All eyes now on the next move as the NCP merger inches closer to reality.
And now in news from Karnataka, in a significant anti-corruption operation, the Karnataka Lokayukta police today successfully trapped and arrested. Who did they arrest was a police inspector. This police inspector was caught red-handed taking bribes from a builder. Now the builder had given out a complaint to the Lokayukta, after which a dramatic chase happened. The visuals of the same are on your screen right now. What happened next is all here in this report.
A Bengaluru police officer pleading pleas after being caught red-handed. From being a protector to being an accused, how the tables have turned.
ನಿಮ್ ಸಿಬ್ಬಂದಿ ಕರೀರಿ ಸರ್ ನಿಮ್ ಸಿಬ್ಬಂದಿ ಕರೀರಿ ವೆಪನ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಇದೆ ಒಂದು ನಿಮಿಷ ಹೇಳಿದ್ಯಾ ಬನ್ನಿ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೆ ನೀವು ಪೊಲೀಸ್ ನಾವು ಪೊಲೀಸ್ ಆಯ್ತು ಮತ್ತೆ ಅದೇ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೆ ಈ ಕಡೆ ನೀಡಿ ಪ್ಲೀಸ್ 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 ಅವ್ರ ಜಾಗ ಪ್ಲೀಸ್ 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 ಸಮಾಧಾನ ಮಾಡಿ ಆಯ್ತು ಸುಮ್ಮನೆ
Caught on camera, red-handed. The police officer Govindaraju, responsible for upholding the law, was seen violating the same law. Resisting like those very criminals he must have arrested in the past. This is Police Inspector Govindaraju of Bengaluru's KP Agrahara Police Station, nabbed by the Karnataka Lokayukta while allegedly taking a 4 lakh bribe. This major anti-corruption operation was the result of a complaint filed by businessman Muhammad Akbar, who tells a shocking story of being harassed by the same police officer. Akbar alleged that the inspector had demanded a bribe of 5 lakh rupees in exchange for extending favors in connection with the criminal case.
After receiving a credible information from a complainant, the Lokayukta police successfully laid a trap on a police inspector who works for the Kepri Agrahara police station for demanding a bribe of 5 lakhs rupees cash. Initially, the complainant had paid 1 lakh as an advance, after which the depending amount or the pending amount, the 4 lakhs had to be paid to the inspector, and after which the complainant, even before giving the 4 lakhs as a bribe to the police inspector, informed the Lokayukta police as well. While the transfer of amount was happening at the CAR ground, which is located in Bengaluru, the Lokayukta police arrested the police inspector of KP Agrahara, who was there to collect the money himself.
Under the pressure of Govindaraju, Muhammad had already paid 1 lakh rupees on January 24, 2026 and was asked to deliver the remaining 4 lakhs on 28 January. Seems the inspector is a repeat offender. The builder also alleges that the same inspector had earlier extorted 6 lakh rupees in late 2025 in relation to a separate dispute involving his associates. To support his allegations, Mohammed submitted a pen drive containing audio recordings of the alleged bribe demands to the Lokayukta authorities. What followed was an FIR against the inspector and a well-orchestrated trap by the Karnataka Lokayukta police to nab the accused in action red-handed. The uniform couldn't shield him, the bribe couldn't save him, and the law he once enforced stand against him.
And that's all that could pack in this edition of 6 Stories at 6. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back right after a very short commercial break. Coming up next is Live and Breaking.
प्योर सूजी पास्ता उबालो मिलाओ और खाओ 8 मिनट में तैयार क्या टेस्ट है सबका राजा प्योर मसाला
In the global employability rankings by Times Higher Education UK, only the following 6 institutions from India are ranked amongst the top 230 in the world for having the most employable graduates. IIT Delhi, IISc Bangalore, IIT Bombay, IIM Ahmedabad, IIT Kharagpur and Amity University.
MDH की हल्दी मिर्ची धनिया करे कमाल, ये रंग दे, ये खुशबू दे, ये तीखा, ये कम पड़े, क्या निराला MDH मसाला। केसरिया से मन जोगी हुआ रे, दिल झूमे देखो मतवारा हुआ रे, केसरिया से मन जोगी हुआ।
हर पल मनाओ केसरी त्योहार। विमल, बोलो जुबान केसरी।
प्योर शाही पनीर मसाला, डिलीशियस, हेल्दी एवरी डे।
आधे बाउल दही में 4 चम्मच MDH चटनी पुदीना मसाला डाला, स्टर करो, पुदीना चटनी तैयार। MDH चटनी पुदीना मसाला।
The United States, Israel and the MI6 of United Kingdom, they had launched a major regime change operation in Iran this year. The aim was not just to overthrow the Iranian government, but to splinter Iran along the ethnic fault lines of the Azeris, the Kurds and the Sunni Baluch. Israel was trying to help the Kurdistan fighters to come in, and also the Afghan refugees who were there. The United States, the CIA was working with Pakistan to induct large-scale induction of arms, small arms into Sistan, Baluchistan, the Sunni area of Baluchistan, the Sunni area of Iran. The plan was very highly ambitious. 40 to 50,000 Starlinks had been pushed into Iran because they knew that they would shut down the internet, and as abundant precaution they had put in about 50,000 Starlink terminals. This time the Russians and the Chinese seem to have warned Iran of the American playbook, and the Russian electronic warfare capabilities, the Chinese electronic warfare capabilities have been used to jam the Starlink terminals and cut off communications between the operatives on the ground and the intelligence agencies of Mossad and the CIA. Secondly, in June last year, when the United States and Israel had launched a combined attack to take out Iran's nuclear capability, nascent nuclear capability, a lot of their intelligence networks of the Mossad had been uncovered. Despite that, the Mossad tried a desperate gambit to
Good evening, welcome to Republic. It's the Telangana Congress committee that has now come under a row because it's their minister Azharuddin who sparked a row. Because viewers, his renovation in his house causes a whooping 76 lakh rupees. We wonder what sort of renovations this is. Is this some gold, is silver or something that's being used in renovations? The Congress needs to answer. We're going to take a look at that. The Telangana Congress needs to answer, and Azharuddin certainly needs to make up his mind about which side of the board he is on. First, a look at our top headlines.
We're taking a look at our top focus. The Calcutta High Court tells Mamata Govt to hand over land to BSF for India-Bangladesh border fencing. This is a matter of national security. You can't sit on such funds. It's 76 lakh political splurge for Minister Azharuddin's Telangana House repair work that's sparking a row. Major development in hearing on the passenger safety norms. The court questions DGCA over its contradictions on FDTL norms. Pakistan's movements in next month's ICC Men's T20 World Cup remains unresolved. PCB to make announcement today. Big political scoop from Maharashtra. 3 weeks after Republic newsbreak, NCP confirms merger talks. And sewage crisis is being seen unfolding in Karnataka's Kalaburgi. Allegations of untreated sewage entering the drinking water sources triggers fear of a public health disaster. Oh, what a splurge. Telangana government's approval of nearly 8 million for repair and renovation work at Minister Mohammad Azharuddin's official residence in Hyderabad's Banjara Hills has sparked a controversy. The building, which has been unused for 15 years, requires repairs. We understand that. It's got damaged flooring. But what we don't understand is the repairs amounting to 76 lakh rupees because of leaking roofs, worn out electrical fittings. The hefty allocation raises eyebrows, especially since the state government has been highlighting its fragile financial position, delays in welfare payouts. This expenditure is a mismatch in spending priorities. Opposition demands transparency. They compare it to Sheesh Mahal controversy involving Delhi government's opulent makeover of Chief Minister's residence. We tried to speak to the people in power. Let's look at what they told my colleague Aishwarya.
There was a rumor, the speculation that there was almost 76 lakhs allotted to the renovation of Mr. Azharuddin's bungalow in the minister's quarters. So what do you have to say about it? I wanted to ask.
That's all part of the governmental administration.
Because there were repeated allegations of, lack.
Nothing like that. They are the old, age-old quarters. They have to get renovated.
Aishwarya, you asked and tried to ask the Deputy Chief Minister questions there, but he says it was age-old building. Leaked roofs, damaged flooring, worn out electrical fittings. But how is the government going to explain this when this controversy sparks similar to what Sheesh Mahal was when Kejriwal was in power in the capital, Aishwarya?
That is the question even the opposition as well as the people are asking here in Telangana. That we understand that the minister bungalow needs renovation, and the newly elected, newly sworn in minister it's been allocated the new bungalow that is government the quarter number 29 in the minister quarters here, and that needs renovation, that needs repair, that needs to be made habitable. But the huge amount of sanction that is almost amounting to 76 lakhs is something that even the opposition is questioning the huge allocation, because they don't understand. They are asking how will the government justify this huge amount. We do understand the protocol, we do understand the importance, we do understand the process, how it works, but this allocation of 76 lakhs for repairs and renovation of a bungalow that has not been used for 15 years is what the government is claiming on one hand, but on the other hand, if the opposition as well as the BRS especially claiming that when the Congress was blaming us for putting the state in debt, apparent debt, that is what the Congress minister himself several times said, that the BRS had pushed the state towards debt. How can you justify allocating such huge amounts for renovation and repairs?
No, there can be no justification for this. The government is using taxpayers' money and they need to be able to answer. Thank you, Aishwarya, for following up and for confronting the Deputy Chief Minister. Answers need to be given. Moving on to the other top focus, there's breaking news coming in. NCB officials have blasted a clandestine drug manufacturing lab in Mysuru's Hebel industrial area following an intelligence-led operation that began with intercepting a Toyota Fortuner SUV in Surat on 20th of Jan, seizing 35 kg of MDMA. The mastermind is Mahendra Bishnoi. I want to see if I have my colleague Abhishek, who's broken that story from Bengaluru, to get more details on this. The mastermind, a habitual offender, was arrested along with 2 others in this raid on his home, where there was uncovered 1.8 kilogram of opium, 25.6 lakh rupees in cash and chemicals. Remember, Bishnoi set up the lab in 2024 after his bail release was producing various drugs. In this Mysuru raid, it's been seen drugs worth 10 crore rupees have been captured. 500 kilograms of chemicals as part of NCB's nationwide campaign against this. Viewers, our other top focus is now from Mumbai, Maharashtra. This is our exclusive. The NCP has called a meeting of its legislative party tomorrow. Sunetra Pawar is likely to be elected as the leader of the NCP legislative party tomorrow. We've also been told there are talks of a merger soon, which was first broken right here on Republic TV. It was confirmed now. Republic broke the NCP merger talks. We broke details of the merger within the NCP. 3 weeks later, NCP confirms the merger talks. They were held in Ajit Pawar's presence. Ajit Pawar informed the top NCP leaders about this before his unfortunate demise a few days ago. Top NCP leaders are now going to announce the merger in February. Sunetra Pawar is likely, we're being told, to be the Deputy Chief Minister. Praful Patel could likely be the national president, and Supriya Sule could get a centre berth. Let's also try and get more details on that. But we're going to stick to that story where we're going to go across to my colleague Meenakshi joining us from Mumbai. Sunetra Pawar likely to be the Deputy Chief Minister, Praful Patel going to be the national president, NCP after the merger, and Supriya Sule could also get a central crucial berth. This is the big news that we're picking up. This is what would happen after the merger. Let's go across to Meenakshi joining us live from Mumbai. Meenakshi, give us more details. We broke the story earlier. NCP after the merger, what will it look like?
Yes, as you have rightly mentioned, Rhythm, we broke the story 3 weeks ago that NCP, SP and NCP Ajit Pawar faction are coming together, and today it's confirmed that NCP, SP and NCP Ajit Pawar faction are coming together in the mid of February. It's a date like 8 February to 15 February. It will be announced by NCP leaders, senior leaders. Now this is the big development after Ajit Pawar's demise, that the one big development is Sunetra Pawar, who is wife of Ajit Pawar. She is taking charge of the NCP party as the senior leader, and the Mahayuti government minister Chhagan Bhujbal confirmed to Republic that Sunetra's name is confirmed, and she is taking charge to NCP's party. And obvious, we know, who will take charge of the NCP party. She or he will be the Deputy Chief Minister. As we have already known that Praful Patel, Chhagan Bhujbal and Sunil Tatkare, they have met Devendra Fadnavis today morning, and after meeting, when leaving the Varsha Banglo, already Praful Patel said they concerned about the Jan Bhavna. So it means Jan Bhavna means the Pawar family. Sunetra Pawar is taking charge of the party, and also she may take charge of the Deputy Chief Minister of Maharashtra.
Thank you, Meenakshi, for giving us those details. It was a story broken right here, and we're going to be on the top of that. A serious civic crisis unfolding in Kalaburgi, and it's happening in the home turf of the Congress president and a sitting Karnataka minister. Allegations of untreated sewage entering drinking water sources have triggered fears of a public health disaster. It raises questions about governance, accountability, and political responsibility now.
Kalaburgi's water crisis is no longer just about civic inefficiency. It's about public safety. And it's happening in the home turf of Congress President and a sitting Karnataka minister, the same Congress party that lashed out at the BJP for toxic water cases in Madhya Pradesh. In Kalaburgi, sewage is no longer hidden underground. It is flowing in open into the Bhima River and allegedly back into people's homes. Residents say what they are consuming today is not drinking water but a toxic mix of sewage and neglect. This is turning a lifeline into a health hazard and threatening thousands of lives downstream. At the center of the controversy is the 60 MLD sewage treatment plant at Nandikur village. Sources say the plant is failing on multiple fronts. Chlorination, mandatory for killing harmful bacteria, is allegedly not being done. Most aeration blowers, critical for the treatment, are reportedly non-functional. The result now is leading to sewage that is barely treated, if at all. What's even more alarming is that this is not a remote or opposition-ruled district. Kalaburgi is the home district of AICC President Mallikarjun Kharge and Karnataka Minister Priyank Kharge. The residents are complaining of foul-smelling, discolored water. The fear is rising that contaminated supply lines or groundwater seepage could trigger outbreaks of waterborne diseases. Despite crores being spent on sewage infrastructure, questions remain over maintenance, tendering and long-term oversight. The fear amongst residents is escalating. Earlier this year in Madhya Pradesh, sewage mixed drinking water led to deaths in Indore and jaundice outbreak in Mahau, a grim reminder of how civic neglect can lead to the cost. Meanwhile, people are now demanding an independent technical audit of the STP, immediate restoration of treatment processes and real-time public disclosure of water quality data. On the other hand, the Kalaburgi City Corporation has so far not given any clear answers on the alleged malfunctioning of the STP or the discharge of untreated sewage. As public woes grow, residents warn that unless urgent action is taken, Kalaburgi could be staring at a preventable health crisis.
Viewers, also it's the final day of India Energy Week 2026. 4 days of high-stakes dialogue, global participation, big energy ambitions. From energy security and clean transition to green hydrogen and next-generation technologies, this event has put India firmly at the center of global energy narrative. World leaders, policy makers, industry giants have shared one common message, that is collaboration is key to powering a sustainable future. On fourth day today, all eyes are on outcomes, commitments and the roadmap that will define the energy journey ahead. Take a look at what our correspondent
the enthusiasm in the burgeoning community of India's energy sector startups and major PSUs is still on the rise as they look ahead on the valuable lessons that they bring to the table from India Energy Week 2026 and partnerships that are yet to be built upon.
The simpler analogy that you were trying to ask, Anupam, as to how do you define modstruction, so you can simply relate it to building a modular kitchen. Right. We had those times when the carpenters used to come, they used to chisel wood, cut plywood and then assemble. Now we have the modular kitchens where a person from the company comes, takes measurements, defines everything and the kitchen gets fitted in maybe one day. So this is exactly what AG&P has specialized in the industrial sector.
Because we always believe in the growth of the whole energy, right? So that is why always we welcome the new innovations, new collaborations and also the networking with all the global oil companies.
Very important part for India is the energy. Energy need has to be met. If we consider that Pradhan Mantri Modi vision for Viksit Bharat 2047, how to achieve that and what will be the part of energy and in particularly what will be the part of hydrocarbon, oil and gas. That is what we are assembled here to make it success and achieve the energy need for the country.
India Energy Week 2026 became an opportunity for the world and the biggest energy sector players to get a better understanding of the gold mine of opportunities that India has to offer. This is Nitin Wagela signing off from Goa with Vijay Raju.
A look at what's making headlines across the nation. The fire department received a call about building collapse near the old water board office in the Preet Vihar area of Delhi. No casualties have been reported. Investigation in the incident is underway. BJP leaders including Suvendu Adhikari protested against the Anandpur fire accident that occurred at a popular company's facility. The protesters blamed the ruling TMC party for administrative lapses, demanded higher compensation for the families of the victims. A road accident occurred on National Highway 21 in Rajasthan earlier today. Accident involved a collision between a truck and a passenger bus. Multiple injuries were reported. Further details on the accident are awaited.
This World Cup is a joke. What are these cricket boards doing? First, Bangladesh started sulking. We kicked them out. And then Pakistan said it would walk out. Now, the Pakistanis are saying that we are going to use the opportunity that Indian broadcasters give us to wear black armbands. A few months after Operation Sindoor, we are allowing a compromise of our national interest in the name of India-Pakistan cricket. We must write to the ICC and tell them we will not play any match with Pakistan, whether on Indian soil or in Sri Lanka, if they are going to be wearing black armbands. This is the Pakistani cricket team turning a cricket match into a protest opportunity on behalf of Asif Munir and us allowing Asif Munir to do what he wants through the Pakistan cricket team. We must not allow it. The BCCI must not cooperate. The ICC must put its foot down.
Mamata government claimed residents would not give up land to fence the border. Republic investigation exposes Mamata government's claim. Bangladesh border conspiracy, biggest threat to national security. Debating tonight at 8 p.m.
दादी के हाथों का जादू और खुशबू से महकता घर, माँ की मुस्कुराहट और खाने की सुगंध। MDH गरम मसाला,
क्योंकि हर रिश्ता है स्वाद से जुड़ा।
इसको घर पे लगाओगे तो शादी का तो पता नहीं, पर घर पक्का नहीं टूटेगा।
रुंगटा नहीं तो घर स्ट्रॉन्ग नहीं। रुंगटा स्टील TMT बार एकदम सॉलिड।
पहाड़ों में एक हाइकिंग स्टिक भी बन सकती है।
आर प्योर सूजी पास्ता उबालो मिलाओ और खाओ 8 मिनट में तैयार। क्या टेस्ट है सबका राजा आर प्योर मसाला।
केसरिया से मन जोगी हुआ रे, दिल झूमे देखो मतवारा हुआ रे। केसरिया से मन जोगी हुआ।
हर पल मनाओ केसरी त्योहार। विमल, बोलो जुबान केसरी।
अब छोलिया हो या लोबिया, सफेद चने या काले चने,
सब कुछ मजेदार बने।
The United States, Israel and the MI6 of United Kingdom, they had launched a major regime change operation in Iran this year. The aim was not just to overthrow the Iranian government, but to splinter Iran along the ethnic fault lines of the Azeris, the Kurds and the Sunni Baluch. You know, Israel was trying to help the Kurdistan fighters to come in, and also the Afghan refugees who were there. The United States, the CIA was working with Pakistan to induct large-scale induction of arms, small arms into Sistan, Baluchistan, the Sunni area of Baluchistan, the Sunni area of Iran. The plan was very highly ambitious. 40 to 50,000 Starlinks had been pushed into Iran because they knew that they would shut down the internet and as abundant precaution they had put in about 50,000 Starlink terminals. This time the Russians and the Chinese seem to have warned Iran of the American playbook, and the Russian electronic warfare capabilities, the Chinese electronic warfare capabilities have been used to jam the Starlink terminals and cut off communications between the operatives on the ground and the intelligence agencies of Mossad and the CIA. Secondly, in June last year, when the United States and Israel had launched a combined attack to take out Iran's nuclear capability, nascent nuclear capability, a lot of their intelligence networks of the Mossad had been uncovered. Despite that, the Mossad tried a desperate gambit to sacrifice its intelligence networks in Iran if required, but to go for the jugular. So like I said, a sophisticated operation, intelligence operation was launched to completely derail the Iranian currency. The Iranian currency is now $1 is to 150,000 riyal. The aim was to inflict so much.
A state that has no money for scheme approves 8 million for Azharuddin's new quarters. Millions for Azhar, stale food for kids. State debt stands at over 5 lakh crore. Progress for the People campaign. Debating tonight at 9 p.m.
Whose backyard is Iran? It's nobody's backyard, yet there are vital stakes there for the Chinese, for the Russians, the Americans. It is the oil cockpit of the world, and America wants to control the outflow. The problem is, sir, that Iran is not Venezuela. Iran can hit back and hit back hard. None of its capabilities to hit back have been degraded in the slightest degree. And Donald Trump had to eat crow and back off and start looking for off-ramps. The first off-ramp he chose was they had threatened to hang some 850 citizens, and because I pressurized them, they said they are not hanging them. They've said, the Supreme Court of Iran has said, yes, we will hang them. Off-ramp gone. So what does Donald Trump do? To save face, he starts moving in huge armadas. The Chairman, Joint Chiefs of Staff of the United States clearly told Donald Trump that, look, we thought there would be an overthrow of the regime, there would be chaos, and we would need only a small force level to deliver the coup de grace. Now that that has not happened, we'll have to increase force levels if you still want to go ahead with it. Frankly, it would be highly immature and foolish if United States still decided to go in. There is no surprise any longer. In June last year, the United States had gained surprised by the perfidy of saying we are going to have talks, and then they attacked while the talks had just started. So they were able to surprise the Iranians, who didn't want to really go in for a fight, right? But the simple fact is, now they know it is a question of survival. It is a question of existential threat to that regime. So will Donald Trump still go in? He is building up forces. He is now trying to create a second off-ramp. This is an air exercise. Let Iran talk about the nuclear option. I mean, all talk of the regime, overthrow, change of regime, gone, finito. Now it's all back to the nuclear option. That means even if you are forced to go in to save your face, you could try and do June, repeat June. Go in for a token strike and tell the Iranians you can hit one of our bases which we will empty out. You know, Bahrain air base that Iran had still hit back. Though Iran also wanted an off-ramp